Welcome back to another vlog, you guys. Today we're gonna go right back up to Blackhawk and play the Ameristar. I know in the last video we talked about going up to Monarch and playing at their 1-3. They haven't allowed us to film yet. We did drive up there and have a session. It was a good session. I'll put up a little bit of footage in the next video of it. It was no filming whatsoever. I took a couple of photos of the floor because it is a beautiful floor. Hopefully they allow us to film. I would love to showcase that room a little bit, but for now, we weren't able to do anything. We took some notes, but no footage yet. So today, we're gonna drive up to Blackhawk, go up to Ameristar, back at the 1-3 table, and hopefully have some run good. We're gonna get ready, and we'll see you guys out on the table. Alright, you guys, we are back at Ameristar, and we look down at pocket nines in our first hand of the session. Under the guard player raises it up to 10. The low jack makes the call, and we make the call. We're gonna go three ways to a flop here. We're in great position with a pocket pair. As long as the board comes favorable, we'll be looking good. However, doesn't cooperate. Flop comes ace-7-4, 1 over with an early position raise, which usually they're gonna have some ace-king, ace-queen holding, so we gotta play with caution. He raises to 20 and the low jack folds. We're not ready to give up, so we make the call here to go off to a turn. And when the turn card comes in offsuit 10, we really have a very weak hand to third pair. Any ace-king, like I said, ace-queen, king-10, jack-10 kind of holding. So when he bets 25, an easy fold for us. All right, guys, next hand we look at a premium. Pocket kings. We're on the button with pocket kings with two limpers. We raise it up to 20. The small blind and the big blind get out of the way. And both limpers make the call. We have a premium in position with two callers. Let's go off to a flop. Flop comes super favorable with an 8-king-4. However, it checks quickly around to us. We decide to check it back to not let off too much, and we're glad we do as the turn comes in 8, giving us the second nuts. King's full of 8s, and the only thing we lose to is pocket 8s at the moment. And when the cutoff leads out for 50, it is a dream come true. We have the second nuts, and they bet into us. So we're going to make the call here. Hopefully on the river, she goes off and tries to bluff again. So river comes a 7. Nothing's changed. We still have the second nuts. Very unlikely she's holding pocket 8s. So when she checks, we bet 80. She thinks it over for a little bit and decides to let it go. So kings full of 8s will be good here for a nice win. Let's go from one premium to the next, you guys. Pocket queens. We raise it up to 12. We get 3 callers, and we are going 4 ways to a flop. We're in early position with pocket queens. Now, I threw this hand in here, you guys, just because pocket queens, and it checks around when the board comes ace-king-7. We have 2 overs to our pocket queens. It checks around, and then the turn card comes 10. It checks around very quickly again. And remember, we have 4 players in here. We could lead out to bet, but I just didn't feel strong at all about our hand. So river comes in offsuit 6. We check it down, and then the lady in the late position raises it to 65. 65 in a $30 pot, so yeah, we're gonna let those go. It's not worth it, so she could take it down, you guys. I don't know what it is, you guys, but we're gonna bump this up to 12, and we're gonna look down at another pocket pair. Pocket 10s this time, and we get raised to 25. Button raises to 25, so we're gonna make the call and go heads up to a flop. The flop comes pretty favorable, 9 high to our pocket 10, so we're going to check it and just let him act and see what he wants to do. So board is 2, 3, 9. We check. He looks down at his cards and decides to lead out for $30. We make the call almost as quickly as he puts his bet in. The turn card comes in off 6, and we quickly check it around. He doesn't hesitate, so he seems a little weak that he checked it that fast. I think my fast call kind of scared him off a little bit. So river comes another offsuit 5. We bump it up to 55, And after hesitating for a second, the gentleman under the button decides on a fold. Alright, I think it's time we played something besides pocket pair. So we look down at King 10 suited in the small blind. You have the hijack and the cutoff who limp in. We raise it to 12. The button thinks it over and makes the call. The hijack and the cutoff both make the call as well. We're going to go 4 ways to a flop. We're in early position and we're the initial raisers, so hopefully we get a favorable flop. And that's exactly what we get, you guys. We get Queen, Jack, 3 with 2 diamonds. We have an open ender with the second nut flush draw as well, so there's not a whole lot to do here, but try and slow it down. So we check initially, checks around to the hijack who raises it to 30, and we make the call. It folds around and it's heads up to a turn card. The turn card is going to be an offsuit 2. So we're going to quickly check that around. We're going off to the river, which comes a beautiful 9. That's right, we complete the nut straight, you guys. We have the nuts and we have a decision to make. We lead out for 45 as the player checked it on the turn, so we didn't want to lose out on any money, so we're going to lead out for 45. And after a while thinking it over, the player finds a call. We show, he mucks, we scoop it up, and the run good continues, you guys. Alright guys, we look at Queen Jack of diamonds in the next hand, and we do our standard bet to $13. We bump it up to 13 and we get 3 callers, and we're going 4 ways to a flop. It doesn't necessarily come quite favorable with Ace King 3 with 1 diamond. We check and it quickly checks around, so when the turn card comes a 7 of diamonds, we bet 15. 2 people to our left fold and the button makes the call. We're going off to a river, which brings absolutely nothing for us. We break out. It brings a 9, an offsuit 9, but we're not going to stop now. We're going to bet $30. The reason I decided to lead out for 30 here was the way the button made the call didn't seem too comfortable. Ace, I feel like, scared him a little bit, and us being the initial raiser, we're going to have Ace King holdings a little more, or Ace Queen holdings, so we bet and he quickly folds. Plan worked perfectly. We scoop up another one, you guys. Alright, you guys, we're back at it. More pocket pairs, and we look down at pocket 7s this time with an early position raise, and we're at the hijack, so we're going to make the call here. You could up to bump it up a little bit, but we decide just to make the flat call here and go off to a flop. Flop comes somewhat favorable. It comes 2, 4, 8. We have 1 overcard. Not a whole lot going on for us, but we're going to check it over and it checks around. The turn brings the 6, and once again it quickly checks around. Going to a river, bring in the ace. Brings the ace. The initial better leads out for 45 and we quickly fold. Alrighty guys, after looking at all these spades coming our way, we look down again at Ace 7 of spades and we decide to bet. We bet up to $10 and then we get 4 callers on the pre-flop. I figured it was a sign. We'd seen enough spades. Let's get lucky one time. Flop comes rainbow, queen, 7, ace. That's right, we flop 2 pair, aces and 7s, and we're gonna check. We check it over, the low jack bets for 25, and the cutoff and I only make the call. We go off to a turn card of 10. We decide to lead out here for 35, and both players make the call. River comes the 5, and once again, we're gonna lead out for $80. The only cards that really scare us are King Jack, and nobody was really playing like they had King Jack, so the low Jack thinks it and folds it over. The cutoff, after thinking for a while, finally makes the call. We quickly show our hand, aces and sevens, and he's hesitant to show his cards. Finally flips over ace jack for top pair jack kicker. We're gonna scoop this one up as well, you guys. The run good just won't stop today. Alright, you guys, this is the very next hand, and I had turned off the camera, so I'll make it nice and quick. We were the big blind with the a7, and now we're the small blind with a king 7, and we bet 10 with 2 callers. The flop comes 7 high, giving us top pair with a second nut kicker, and we check it. Under the gun bets 15, and we call. Turn card comes another 7. We check again, and he leads out again for $25 bet. Nothing to do here but make the call once again. The river is an off 10. We laid out this time for $35, and he quickly makes the call. We show our trips, and he mucks his cards. Last interesting hand of the session, we look down at, that's right, another pocket pair, pocket jacks, you guys. We're on the button, and we raise it up to 15. We get 2 callers, and we go to a flop. The flop comes quite horrendous. King 3 king with 2 callers. I'm assuming one of them is going to be holding a king, so we're going to slow down a little bit and check. Good news, it checks around, and we go to a turn. The turn is an offsuit 10, and yet again, we're just going to check. Checks quickly around again for the second time. So we go off to a river card, and the river brings another king. We upgrade to a full house on the river. We check it, and the player on our left bets 20. We raise it up to 50, and he thinks it over for a second, makes the call, and we show our full house, scooping up the last pot of the session. It was a good run, you guys.
Like I said, she says she is a beginner and she's lying.
Alright, you guys, that was a fun session, a quick session, but a fun session. We got him for 300, cashed out for 700, giving us a profit of $400. Not bad for 3 hours with the play. It's Saturday morning, it's Saturday afternoon now, it's 2 o'clock, so we're headed back home, and we got dinner plans for tonight. That was an easy session. I love playing Saturday mornings. A lot of recreational players like to get out on Saturdays. They'll usually stay at the casino Friday night, wake up, have some drinks, and come to the poker tables early in the morning. And we had a few of those at the table today, so it was definitely a good session. Make sure to like and subscribe, you guys. Thank you so much for following, and we'll see you on the next one.